Another guy who's now free to sign with any team, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, wide receiver for the Chiefs. They are going to release him from his contract. This is a salary cap saving move. Will save them about $12 million against this year's cap. And as has been the case for the last couple of off seasons, the Chiefs are in the market for wide receiver help. And now they're down one of the guys that helped get them to the Super Bowl the last couple of years.
Dan Graziano, thank you very much. Let's stay in KC. Tim and Booger back now. Tim, starting with you. The Chiefs overcoming wide receiver struggles all season. With this release, what can they do to bolster the position?
Yeah, we know it's a deep, receiver class in this year's draft, so I would expect them to draft a wide receiver. You just look at what's happened there. Obviously, it didn't really work out with MVS. Yes, he did make a big play in the playoff game, but really was a struggle all season long. Kadarius Toney, who they acquired, he hasn't really panned out. Sky Moore, I think does certain things well, but hasn't developed the way they want him to develop. And then Rashee Rice, whose year certainly got off to a tough start, he's the only one that's really come along. And so with that, as you look at the receiver group, I think that you have to address it. I think it most certainly will be addressed during the draft. And then beyond that, I do think that they end up being guys that are at least interested in the free agent market the way they have been in years past with how they acquired someone like MVS. So, I think that's exactly where they are. And just to be candid about it, somewhat surprised that they haven't had more success with it, considering who their head coach is and considering who their quarterback is. But it's been a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, truth be told, it really doesn't matter what they do because Patrick Mahomes has proven he's going to make it right. We came on this program for the last couple of years. What is the Mahomes and what are the Chiefs going to do without Tyreek Hill? Win Super Bowls, back-to-back Super Bowls. So you got to know that Andy Reid and Brett Veach understand that, they've been lacking a little bit at the receiver position. Rashee Rice has kind of taken that next step up. But other than that, no one really has. This is a generationally deep receiver draft. I fully expect them to get somebody that can open up the perimeter and open up deep down the field. That's the one thing that this team misses with Tyreek Hill. Yeah, they've won 2 Super Bowls, and that ultimately is the goal. But this offense transitioned from a big play offense to one that's kind of dink and dunk to intermediate unless you're throwing the football to Travis Kelce. And if you want to pinpoint a guy or pinpoint a school, look no further than the University of Texas. A.D. Mitchell, Xavier Worthy, 2 very big, deep threats at the University of Texas. Could you imagine them? Could you imagine those 2 guys with Patrick Mahomes throwing the football down the field? I have no doubt that whatever Brett Veach and Andy Reid want to do, it's going to be successful because of one guy, and that guy wears 1-5.
What's the latest on Chris Jones potentially getting a long-term deal?
Yeah, they've been talking about it here over the last couple of weeks, Jay, since the Super Bowl, and I think there's some optimism that they might be able to get to a deal. Couldn't get to one last offseason, and it led to him actually holding out, missing the first game of the season over his dissatisfaction for not getting a long-term deal. But, winning a second straight Super Bowl puts everybody in a pretty good mood, and it feels like there might be more fertile ground for negotiation this time around. They definitely do not want to let Chris Jones out of the building. They have to. The cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, also a free agent. Our Jeremy Fowler reporting yesterday that they were willing to use the franchise tag on him. That could be a tag and trade kind of situation. They have some things to sort out on defense, but Chris Jones, a priority for sure.